Hey everybody, this is Joe.
And this is Jenna.
From Fantastic Reviews, bringing you this week's installment of In Case You Missed It, our show where we cover the smaller stories that happen over the course of the week in movies, TV, video games, and comics that you may have looked over. First up this week, for you game show people out there, Cash Cab is getting a revival on the Discovery Channel. The first version of Cash Cab ran on Discovery from 2005 to 2012. It starred Ben Bailey as its host.
Ben Bailey.
He is a fantastic host. He actually has a comedy special on Netflix, which I very highly recommend.
Yeah.
If you haven't found it, definitely go look for him because he's pretty funny. He's a funny guy.
He's great. He's a wonderful comedian, and he really was the only reason to watch that show. Which brings us to our spot of bad news. He has no attachment to the show now.
He will not be hosting the revival of Cash Cab. The producers of the show have said that now they are going to get a revolving door of celebrities from film and TV and other comedians to host the show on a revolving basis. So it's not going to have a specific host throughout the whole series. I don't think it's going to have the same feel. I don't think it's going to capture the same magic as the original because, I mean, Ben Bailey really was that show.
He really was. I mean, his little quips and just his attitude was the whole reason to watch that show. And I think having a revolving door of different people as the host of the show is going to take away from the show itself. People are going to be like, oh, look, it's Gary Oldman. Isn't that interesting?
I don't think Gary Oldman would do this show.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying. Like... I don't know. It's just strange. Any other game show, I don't think would do something like that. Like you're not gonna go on The Price is Right and like, look, there's a new host each time. It's just weird. It's different. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's gonna have the same feel as the original.
We won't see. We're not gonna watch it. But
yeah.
In solidarity with Ben Bailey, we are not gonna watch this show.
Agreed. But for those of you who do want to see it. It will premiere sometime in 2017.
Yep. On to our next bit of news. Good news for all of you people who watch the Santa Clara Diet on Netflix.
Santa Clarita.
Santa Clarita. I don't know why I say Santa Clara. It is going to be renewed for season 2. Yay! I'm excited. I thought that show was hilarious. It's got, you can go ahead and read their names.
Timothy Oliphant, who is of The Grinder and Justified fame. Is co-starring with Drew Barrymore, who's been in just about every Adam Sandler movie.
Ever, almost, I'm pretty sure. They had great chemistry on set. And also, he ain't bad to look at either, so that was really nice for me. It'll premiere in 2018, Season 2, but Season 1 is on Netflix now, and you can binge watch the entire thing. It is definitely a show you can binge watch and not burn yourself out on. So... which is good for me, because if I watch Netflix, it's just 15 hours of Netflix forever.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of campy. If you like Bruce Campbell movies, you're probably going to like this series if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah. It's great. They're real estate agents, and she's a zombie. What could be better?
But it brings around the point that streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon... they're all coming out with their own shows. This seems to be a growing trend geared towards cord cutters like us.
Yeah.
Who don't want to pay $1 million a month for 100 channels of crap that we're never going to watch.
And also, the season comes out all at once. You don't have to wait, which is really great, especially for something like this show, where are you going to watch it again next week? Maybe not, but it's a really great show to binge watch. And it gets all the loose ends tied up all at once. You don't have to worry about... in 3 months, am I going to remember what just happened because the storyline's just drug on for way too long and is way too convoluted? I'm looking at you, S.H.I.E.L.D. But it's a very fun, light show that you can watch and just enjoy and don't read too much into it.
One thing's for sure, the streaming services, the shows that they're putting out are really starting to gain steam now. Yeah. It's not like what it used to be. their shows were like kind of, come check it out. And we're like, no, don't really want to. Now they're actually getting good. They're actually getting good writers. They're getting top name producers.
It was kind of, when it first came out, it was kind of like Eddie Izzard says, British shows, where it's just like a man in a staircase next to a pond kind of thing, going, oh, you don't say. And then something happens.
Yeah.
So it's much better. It definitely looks like a show you would see on any regular cable channel. It's got a great budget, and they do well with the budget they have. So there's no crazy CGI that you're going, wow. So they got a high school kid to do that after school one day. It's really worth the watch. And Netflix has really been bringing a lot more to the table with their own shows.
They've been going heavy on the Marvel shows, but I think they need to branch out. And Santa Clarita Diet, I think, is a really good step in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, Marvel gives them enough money to get themselves out there and get good, and then here you saw that. Now look at what we have.
Netflix does have that partnership with Disney.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah. When you got Disney money, you can do anything.
Disney money is always worth it.
Our next story, G.I. Joe is getting a rebooted movie. This time, it's going to be geared towards, or no, I'm sorry. The way they said is that it's going to take a millennial approach.
The fuck does that mean? Maybe it means they won't kill Duke this time. The fuck do you kill Duke? I'm sorry.
Yeah, they don't really go into what that actually means.
They all have Starbucks, I guess is what it means.
The best explanation that they had was that they are trying to bring a more contemporary approach that will allow them to develop new characters. The goal here is to resonate with fans of the classic series and try to bring in a quote-unquote uninitiated audience. So they're trying to bring in new people to G.I. Joe. They're trying to get people interested in G.I. Joe. They're trying to bring back the glory days of the 80s is what it sounds like.
They had a great time of it when they did the first G.I. Joe. The one that came out in, what was it, 2011, 2012, when they first did it. And then they lost it in the second installment. The first 15 minutes of that movie was great. And then they killed all the team and didn't follow the rules that the first movie set up. And that's where you lose it because you're an idiot and you didn't watch your own movie? I don't know. I enjoyed the first G.I. Joe, and I never enjoyed G.I. Joe before. But I thought it was cool. It was interesting. It was all secret-y and had all kinds of different nifty gadgets that all the G.I. Joes had in the cartoons, and I assume there was toys and whatnot. But,
it's all about writing. Writing. If the writing is good, then you'll get the audience. If you don't have the writing, like we've seen in so many movies that they've tried to follow these fandoms, if the writing's not there, you're gonna flop.
Exactly. And that seems to be the case a lot, and that's not the lesson anyone takes away when these movies fail. They don't go back and say, okay, what did we do wrong? It was, oh, we didn't appeal to a millennial audience. Fuck you. We watch period pieces sometimes. The writing was amazing in Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. That takes place in the 1800s. You don't need to appeal to a millennial audience. You need to have good writing. You need to, if you want to bring in the fans of the old show, which is millennial, and then people who grew up with it when it first came out, but also attract new viewers, just write a good script. Write a good script, bring in new characters with the old guard, and then that's all you need to do. It can't be that hard. There's tons of movies out there doing well. Yeah. Like, where it happened to, I'm not going to get into it. That movie pisses me off. Follow the first movie you set up if you're going to make a series. You got to follow the rules and the things that happen in that movie, or you're going to have a bad movie. I'm sorry. Anyway.
They did talk about trying to cross over G.I. Joe with Transformers. I don't know if they can work that in with the plot or the script or anything. And at this point, with the way Michael Bay is just making everything explode, I'm not even sure it's feasible.
Getting dragons in the next Michael Bay film, so who the fuck even knows?
Yeah.
I could see that happen, though, because G.I. Joe, it's the Army. Transformers work with the Army. What better combination could you have other than two wildly crazy, just flashy characters together? I think it would work if they did it right, but again, you have to have good writing. You can't just rely on, this looks super cool when we put it on the screen, because all you're going to get is people like us going, well, that one scene looked great, but none of it made sense. None of it made sense.
So we don't really know much else about the G.I. Joe movie reboot. There's really no other information that's out there yet. I guess it's just in talks. So
yeah, we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah.
Like with most of this news, we always gotta wait and see. But if they have good writing, I'm more than willing to get behind it. And speaking of good writing, this leads us into our final bit of news for this week.
This is huge.
Huge news. I'm sure most of you have already heard about it already, but Joss Whedon is in talks with making a standalone Batgirl film.
Not just making it. He's in talks to writing, directing, and producing the whole thing.
But you want to talk about good writing? Joss Whedon is the man. He is great. And also with female characters as the lead. I guess this is his, well, I couldn't do Wonder Woman, so I'm going to do the next best thing, which is Batgirl, because she's one of the bigger female leads on DC's end. So he was like, bye, Marvel, and he's in talks. None of this is confirmed yet. It's just talks right now, but I am so excited that this might happen. Because Joss Whedon knows how to write, one, female characters, and two, knows how to fucking write a good movie.
The only thing we really know so far about Batgirl is that it's going to be based on the New 52 comic arc.
Yeah. And for any of you who don't know, New 52 comic Batgirl, they brought back Batgirl. So Barbara Gordon is once again Batgirl. She did go through the time where she was paralyzed by the Joker, but she has regained the use of her legs now. She went through experimental treatments and all that other stuff, and she is now able to walk again and be Batgirl. She has her own standalone title. Right now, she's currently fighting in Japan, and she's on her way back home. But it gives you back the Barbara Gordon we had originally when she first became Batgirl, for the most part. She's younger. She's going and branching out on her own. It's a really interesting and very good storyline that she's got going right now. And it still does harken back to all the trials she's had to go through to get where she's at today. So we still have the emotional baggage and the insecurity she has after having faced something like the Joker paralyzing her. But we get to see her again as her role of Batgirl and not just have her be Oracle. So very exciting. I think Joss Whedon can do a lot. If they are going with New 52 Batgirl, there's a lot of emotion that can be delved into there because she still has a wild fear of guns. She still freezes up sometimes if the situation reminds her of the Joker, and that's something that she struggles with, and that's amazing. She's not just a superhero character who doesn't care. She's a real person, and I think Joss Whedon's a great man to bring that to screen. You know,
we're gonna get an actual in-depth character, not just like a one-dimensional, broody Batman who just fights everybody and cries about his parents all the time.
Right, and we're probably.
That being said, Batman is still a great character.
Batman is a great character, but he's Batman, and different people can do different Batman and have them be still Batman. But we haven't gotten a lot of female characters out there who haven't just been to the side or standing so you can see their ass all the time. Black Widow is a great example. She's an integral part of Avengers, but you don't see a lot of her, and when you do, she's very sexy. Nothing against being sexy, but I want more than just, look at how super cool this assassin is. I want an actual character. We haven't gotten a chance, even with Marvel, to get an actual female character-driven movie. If we get that with DC and Joss Whedon's the man to bring that to the screen, I think that's going to be amazing.
It could put DC ahead.
It could. We will be getting, of course, again, this is all in talks. The script's not written. There's no date yet or anything.
But he's close to it.
But it's close. So we're going to get Wonder Woman first. Now, Wonder Woman will be Marvel's first female... DC's, I'm sorry. We're going to get DC's first female-driven storyline here with Wonder Woman. So, you know what? We're going to have to see what happens with that. But I think if Wonder Woman flops, this might be the one that brings it all up here is going to be Joss Whedon's Batgirl. It's dark, it's edgy, it's fucking Joss Whedon. Also, I did say that Joss Whedon was doing Wonder Woman for Marvel a bit ago. That was incorrect. But Joss Whedon was with Marvel. He was going to do the Black Widow movie is what he wanted to do. But he didn't. They're not having him do that, so he's doing in talks with Batgirl for DC. He also wanted to do Wonder Woman, but they didn't give him that either, so I'm excited.
Which is insane, because, I mean, look how well all of his franchises have done. I mean, they've grown such a strong cult following. You got Buffy and Firefly, and then Avengers was a giant enormous smash hit.
Not even to mention, like, we also have Dollhouse and Angel from just TV. Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, which was something he did and all the actors did for funsies, basically, when the writer's strike was going on. People still know that. It's ridiculous. But I think if you let Joss Whedon do what he needs to do and just leave him alone, it'll be fine.
Joss Whedon gets shit done.
Does get shit done. I mean, he also has a very good team of writers with him, but when he wants something done, he has a fully fleshed storyline in mind. He doesn't just go, wouldn't this be cool on screen? And I think, again, harkening back to G.I. Joe, that's a big issue we have lately, especially with series that want to continue on. They don't really know where it's going to go later, and then they scrap whatever happened beforehand to say, what cool thing can we do this time? That's not going to keep fans around. Joss Whedon will keep fans around. One, because he's Joss Whedon, and two, because he writes well.
So we know Wonder Woman's coming up. We know Captain Marvel's coming up. Joss Whedon's going to be writing Batgirl,
Maybe.
most likely.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Are we finally coming into the age of strong superhero female protagonists?
I hope so. I would like to see that. So.
We need to see that. The world needs to see that, and we just need it.
We just need it. I mean,
it's time. It's past due.
Yeah, it's great to have. I mean, I'm not saying that every story and every movie needs to have a female lead and needs to follow female characters. That would be silly. But we need a nice, diverse, balanced cast for us to see. We need to have Batgirl movies. We need to have Wonder Woman movies. We should have a Gotham City Sirens movie and look at, all the female villains too. We can't just have them be something that looks nice next to the hero. As well as they might have been written in the movie, we also need more than just that.
So what do you guys think? Are you excited for a Batgirl movie? Are you excited that Joss Whedon is going to be all up in it?
Yeah.
The internet did light up with all sorts of theories and stuff, so I mean, we'll really looking forward to seeing what comes out of it. Are you looking forward to season 2 of the Santa Clarita Diet?
Yeah, I am. Woo! Talk about it with me. How awesome are zombies in this show?
And what about the G.I. Joe reboot? A, does it really need to happen? B, does it really need to be geared for a millennial approach?
C, what is a millennial approach? Someone answer me that.
Let's define that first, and then we'll take it from there. Let us know in the comments what you think. Find us on Facebook and Twitter. Anything more to add?
I think that's everything, guys.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel for future installments and all the other fun stuff that we like to do.
Bye, Internet!
See you guys later.